Welcome back to Weekend Smile. So everyone has a different definition of a dream wedding, and that's influenced by preference, beliefs, personal style, and a number of other factors. So this morning we have Tristan Bent, who is engaged to be married, and Kashima Wright Parchment, the newlywed. And we're going to get real about what kind of wedding do we really want. Hi, ladies. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having us.
I mean, congratulations to you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me about the proposal now. How did your other half propose?
Okay.
Tristan.
To go first, to be honest, and I will always say that I appreciate what he did, he asked me, which do I prefer, an intimate proposal and a photo shoot, or a public proposal, and it's out there. And why he asked me is because he knows that I like to choose when I share, how I share. So instead of just jumping the gun and just doing, and he did say, if I do something public, I have no control if someone shares it before you.
Right.
And I was just like, thank you for giving me that choice. Because I hopped on the internet. Let's keep that between us.
Yeah.
And we do a photo shoot to announce it to our audience.
Beautiful. Kashima, what about you?
Mine was intimate. So it was the more along the line of the both of us were private persons or are private persons. So it was on the boardwalk in Houston. And I appreciated that so much. So long after it happened, we knew we were engaged. But like when when you're doing the FaceTime calls, like, so this was the so everybody like,
Everything you start doing with your left hand. How with your right hand did.
yes. So, but I appreciate a more intimate proposal because at the end of the day, it's both of us.
Right.
So let's let in everybody else after.
Right. So, I agree with that. I think when I got engaged, a lot of persons didn't know I got engaged. They just saw a ring and just assumed. And people probably didn't even know I got married. So I get it. All right. So talk to me now about the wedding, ladies, because, when you're growing up, sometimes you have these all princess dreams. And, I mean, sometimes you're like, oh, I want to get married. Well, back in the day, you're like, oh, I want to get married by 20-something. And then I want to have kids.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I want to do this. And then when life really hits you hard and life is lifing, you're like, okay, hold up. That's not how it goes, You have to find the right person and that kind of thing. But growing up, did you want the princess wedding or even just a big celebration, or was it just something small and intimate you wanted? Let me start with you, Cash, since you are already married.
I think every girl wants the fairy tale, and I wasn't any different. However, when you start looking at locations and you start looking about catering and all those other
when
things.
the money start piling up.
Exactly. So when you reach here, so you're like, And then it draws back to the point of the main reason of a marriage failing in the first year is for financial reasons. And I never wanted to be that in that stats. So it was, all right then, pull it back. We're more intimate persons, rather the small thing. And I loved our wedding.
This is actually a photo from your wedding.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there.
Okay, where was it?
It was in Houston, Texas, at a courthouse.
Okay, and it doesn't look like a courthouse.
Yeah, the courthouse. So and it was, as you see, it's just the persons that mean the world to us. So yeah, I'm happy that we went that route.
Okay, versus having a wedding with 200 or 250
and half of them you don't know, are not so connected as you would want them to be. So
more acquaintances
than friends. Yeah.
Okay, Tristan, tell me, which route are you leaning more towards now? Because I know you're in the wedding planning stage. It's a beautiful time. Enjoy it. I mean, you'll never have the first of all of these things again. Just love it up. But how has it been going for you? And which route are you going?
So to be honest, the route that I'm going is it's not too big. Mostly very intimate persons. And to be honest, I always said to myself that I want to be married, but I've never truly visualized what that would look like. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but I never visualized it. I just knew that I wanted to become a wife. I felt that desire, but I just knew that whatever I chose, it would be more, the importance for me would be my partner and just feeling happy and comfortable with them. And I know, funny enough, and this is just an ironic question that my partner asked on the first date. Do you have a wedding list, like, with your guests? And I'm just like,
you asked this on the first date?
No, because I'm just like, why would you ask me?
First
of all things.
But, you know, it's when God draws persons together, your desires align.
Right.
And I guess it was his desire, but it was just a random question to see, is this someone who is on the same page as me?
Right. Have the same interests, you know, you're going in the same direction.
Yeah.
So I was just like, not to give away too much, I'm just like, don't dangle marriage in front of me because that's going to scare me.
So you pressure me.
You know, like,
coming on a little bit too strong, too early.
But it was ironic that I did. And it was a very small list.
Okay.
Very intimate. And then I later shared with him that I do have a list. So it's a good question. And then we shared the numbers. But I always imagined at first it was like 100. And then, like you said, when you start get the coat and
yes. And the per plate.
You adjust
accordingly.
Yeah, you know, you're like, I prefer to spend this money in another way.
Like
you
a
know?
honeymoon, a lavish honeymoon, something else. Yeah.
So the numbers have been adjusted. I've adjusted myself, but I realized that he has his plans too. So he really envisioned a bigger wedding to this. So it's a coming together.
Yeah, meeting of the minds. I was actually going to ask you that, you know, how involved is your partner in the planning process?
Very involved.
Okay.
He's ready to go to pick up dresses. I'm just like, no, that is not for you. But he'll drive me to the appointment.
Oh, that's so cute.
So yes,
that's good. That is good.
I love that. Yeah. I really thought it would be like just me. He stops me and says, no, this is us.
Yeah.
So I want to be a part, even if I don't know. At least allow me to be in the Zoom meetings so I can listen.
I have an idea of what's going on. I mean, Kashima, how involved was your husband in the whole wedding planning process?
My friends joke around all the time that my husband wanted to be married more than me.
Okay.
Because my husband was there at the courthouse like 2 hours before me. He's like,
oh, wow.
What you doing
there, sir?
So he was very involved, seeing that it was a international wedding per se, so you know the laws are different and what you had to do and stuff like that. So he was very involved on the time.
Yeah, man, you can't play that game over there with time. If it's 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock.
It's 3
yeah,
o'clock.
not in Jamaica. 3 o'clock is like 5:30.
Yeah, and even with the whole how involved he was, because I experienced burial twice. I experienced it here in Jamaica and I experienced it there in Houston.
Right.
And he had to get the license and stuff like that, and he was in the rain, gone, make sure so everything is sorted out. So he was very much involved. Yeah. I could have sat down and just calm, and despite it being a smaller wedding, I could have said, okay, my husband got it.
Yeah, he got it. He's okay.
Nothing to worry about.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me now about your experiences before we wrap, Tristan, before we go, what are you most looking forward to, about being married?
About being married is just, for me, I'm used to coming home to my family, mom, dad, brother. It's coming home to him.
Okay.
He's now my family.
Yeah, that is so true.
We're going to be creating a family. And for me, I never really envisioned it before him. But now I've started to visualize it, and I'm just
beautiful.
Like, I'm ready.
Yes.
Yes. Come home to you.
Yes. So. And Cash, tell me now about you. How are you enjoying your married life?
Oh, Jesus. I'm not going to sit here and say any marriage is perfect because we have our days. However, what we do is that we put God in the midst of everything. If it's a disagreement, to ensure that that disagreement is handled before it is that we go to bed. Because our marriage is different. We're still in the long distance period there, so we have to constantly be talking. So I mentioned to you before that a marriage is like an old car. So you constantly have to be working on it. You constantly have to be making improvements to it. So that's what we have been doing.
Well, ladies, congrats again and all the very best to you on your journey.
And congrats to you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. But guess what, guys? Big or small, lavish or low-key, I hope everyone gets to have their dream wedding, whatever it is that you choose, right? That was Tristan Bent and Kashima Wright Parchment. More to come on Weekend Smile or Wedding Bliss. We'll continue right after this break. Don't go anywhere.